I mean, yeah, I probably should have unmuted, but yeah. Whoops. Thank you to Big Sid for sending people to show your support. Yeah, so I can't believe I screwed all of that over. Basically, the last two apps that you saw, one of them was No TAMS, and it was noticed to airmen, and it shows you all of the issues that are going on in the area. Currently, one of the big issues was at RAF Woodvale, where it had a pothole, large one. Yes, I'm a knob. Shut up. And then one of the other ones was what's it called? I can see it. Broughton had issues with their air traffic control systems due to lack of staff, so they were only running a small service. And then the other app was specifically for the Grob Tutor, the G115. It was a free app. I think it's $3.99 now, so about £2, $1.50. Great little app, and it shows you through, talks you through, and shows you literally all of the checks for getting started in the aircraft. So, and that's what we're going to be doing today. Yes, unfortunately, I do know him. We weren't 3. I was 4 and you were probably 5. See you in a bit, Dave. Yeah, so I mean that only really works when you turn it off and actually do change the settings, doesn't it? I suppose. Can I change it in this? No, I can't. Of course not. Thank you, Retro Dad Gamer, for the follow. Right, let's go back to this. Let's change the flight conditions. Put it into daytime with clear skies. There we go. That's what we want. There we go. That should work a bit better now. Be able to see. In theory. And I've got my little checklists up now. There we go. I mean, I've never gone to Cherbourg, but yeah, we'll give it a go. Why not? It might take a bit of a while in this aircraft, but we can get you something a bit quicker. Oh, it's lovely. However, it's ridiculously wet. But yeah, just look at this aircraft. Oh. I've flown in this about 8 or 9 times. Most of them out of this airfield as well, RAF Woodvale, Southport Way. It's such a well-modelled aircraft. Iris Simulations, they created one for Flight Sim X, and again, it was amazing, especially given the constraints of Flight Sim X. It was amazing, but they gave away copies of the aircraft to any air cadet squadrons that wanted them. So that was brilliant. I mean, they say any landing that you can walk away from is a good landing. I've not had a particularly good landing yet, but we'll see what we can do for you. Okay. So, this little light down here is off. It is. And turn and slip. Yep, that's got a little flag there to say that it's a warning flag. Come down now to the ignition. Ignition's all off. All switches down here are off. It's a really simple aircraft, this. That's why it is probably the primary trainer for the Royal Air Force. Although, as you'll notice there, it doesn't really want to control, and then if I do that, they go up together. So really, I need the Cytec throttles for this, just because a twin engine one doesn't really work. If I get all the way back before I did manage to get it off. No, of course not. We'll have to find what else that's bound to. It's not very often a flying prop other than this. Voltmeter showing 0 volts. Showing 0 volts. Seal detect showing normal. It is. Flaps are aligned with the correct indication. That's a yep. Mixture to lean. We are definitely very lean there. Trim in the takeoff band. And the trim wheel, yeah, it's in the takeoff band. Okay, and that's the first set done. That's the initial cockpit checks. So pre-startup we're on now. Parking brake set and applied. Parking brake set. Chocks removed. So you signal now to the aircraft marshal for chocks removed. That's chocks removed for you. I am learning the others, but I can't remember. Propeller is clear. Yep. No one round the propeller. Battery switch on. Generator switch on. Auxiliary fuel pump still set to off. That's all good. Avionics masters on. There we go. We can see everything light up like a Christmas tree there. Pitot heat, we're going to check it on just to make sure it's functional. It is. Knock it back off. Stall system, we can't check the stall system because that's a physical check of the switch on the outside. Nav lights are going on. Yeah, it's got to be a handbrake. I might get my camera on, but I don't like me being on camera. Plus I haven't brushed my hair today. Where were we? Nav lights. Nav lights on. ACS, which is this little unit here, as required. Don't need to do anything with it for now. Alt static set to normal. Unfortunately, this is not one that we can actually move. There's not many buttons that you can't flick or press in here, but that is one of them, unfortunately. Vertical speed indicators showing normal. Yep. Primary altimeter set as required. There's a slight offset. There we go. I've probably done that completely wrong, but warning flag has retracted on the ESI. Yeah. The EHSI is operative. Yeah, showing north. What we'll do is we'll just compare that to there. Showing north. I don't know why we need an aircraft tug here. Or a baggage trolley. What are you doing? It's an RAF base. You drunk, go home. Anyway. The DME selector is off. Yep. The clock is correct. Well, the clock isn't correct because I purposely set it to daytime so I can see and fly. Yeah, it's not very often that sounds nice. The flarm is off. It's not one of the ones that you can touch, unfortunately. It's one of the non-flicky ones. Turn and slip. Yep, you can see the flag's no longer there now. It's hiding up there. Airspeed indicators showing nothing, which is good. I'd be concerned if it wasn't. Fuel flow gauge showing nothing. RPM gauge again, showing nothing, that's what we want. The accelerometer, we're going to reset to 1G. We'll see what we can actually, how many G we can pull in this. I have got the crashes turned off because there's an aircraft carrier in this. However, if when you're using the aircraft carrier, if you land on it and crashes are on, it just crashes, so you can't do that. Okay, transponder off, transponder off, nav 1 off, yeah, nav 2 towers selected. It is, well, I'm presuming it is because I don't know the tower setting. And we'll do the test on this. You should see all of this light up. There we go. The day and night is for this little dial here, which makes it obviously brighter or darker. Magnetic compass, we've already checked that, heading north. GPS is off. This is the GPS unit. The OBS is off. Right, so the next one is just basically checking the DBS, which is it's a word for circuit breakers, I think. So they're all showing as in. Check fuel gauges. Yeah, we've got some fuel. Not got loads, but we've got some. And they are quite balanced as well. Voltmeter, not in the yellow. As you can see there, voltmeters in the green. Engine T's and P's in the yellow, which is what you want, and off. I'm not going to plan on crashing. It may happen, but I can't promise. Are you sure, Foxy? I really don't think so. Sam's normally mean. Secondary altimeter set as required. It's showing the same as the other one. On the main bus panel, so this is the main bus. They're all showing it. I don't know whether they'd actually be active and whether you can pull them out or not. For the fact that they're not lighting up when you go over them, presume not. But they're all in. Cabin conditioning as required. Unfortunately, I was gutted about this. You can't move them. I mean, not that it's going to make it any colder or warmer, but avionic bus panel, everything's in. Mute switch is off, so it is off. Because otherwise, like me, you end up talking to nobody when you're trying to talk, and that's not good. Yeah, it's a lot harder. In the same way, if you have a little crash in a car or it runs out of fuel, you can just kind of like stop. If you run out of fuel mid-air, you're going to stop, but it's going to be a lot harder. Okay, pitot heat is off, which is still off because we made sure it was off before. So pitot heat's off. Ooh, there we go. Bit of cold air coming in. Throttle set to full. I wonder will it let me? No, it won't let me manipulate singulars. Ooh, it will when it's down there. Right. Throttle to full. And you're just checking to make sure that there's nothing stopping it from moving about. It's all good. RPM lever set to high. Well, I can't really do much. It sits where it wants to. Mixture down to lean. We sat on lean there. Trim, full and free movement. Yeah, quite happily rolls about. And we'll set it back into the takeoff area. There we go. Fuel selector to left. That's right, that's left. Here's one for you, Dave. Fuel cock on. full and free movement with the flying controls. So let's have a look out the window. I say the window, I've not closed the canopy. That seems to be moving okay. Let's have a look behind us. Yeah, I can see both sides there. That's all happy. Let's pretend that we're not going to snap our neck. Yeah, full and free movement. So now we can start an engine. Allegedly. So strobe light set to red. It is. Ignition currently set off. It is. Auxiliary fuel pump on. And the pressure should go into the green. Don't know how long that's supposed to take. Oh, I think it's moved. We'll come back to that. Mixture to rich. Oh, it's definitely moved now. Look at that. Shut up. And then back to lean. Auxiliary fuel pump off. Throttle set to idle. Just to there. Start up. Give signal to ground crew. So it'll starting up. Ignition to left. Press firmly and hope that it doesn't blow up. There we go. You've got an engine. That's disconcerting. Right, that's... There we go. Mixture to rich. Swap the ignition to both. We got no lights on. Set throttle to RPM. Well, I can't do that because everything will mess about. Oil pressure should be 25 psi. Middle one as a minimum. Yeah. Well, there's the 30 and we're up there, so that's all good. Okie doke. Ammeter has got a positive reading. Which it has. GPS as required, couldn't give a toss. Nav 1 is on. Yeah. Transponder set and confirm. Well, we're not really. We're going to squawk 7700. I don't need a cam on me because you can't see me properly. Plus it takes away from this glorious... No, you can't just get in and turn it on. No. I mean, you probably could, but this is doing it safely. Right, anyway. Transponder, well, we're set to 7700, which is the universal one for distress. Pull to cage. Yep, it's all good. No flags over here, so we're all good. DME as required, don't care. Got to test it going to right, left, off, and back on. And it should just catch it. That's what you want. Check the operation of the flaps. Yep, flaps have moved. Yep. And back to nothing. Okay, mixture to 2/3 rich, we can't really do that. Fuel selector now to right. Radio test as required. Don't really care about the radios. Harnesses, tight and secure. Yep. Right, now we're supposed to do some taxiing stuff and there's other stuff. Let's just get flying, because I know you're all bored of not actually seeing any flying. I'll also admit I'm not very good at taxiing. At all. I can adjust my mic to go a bit louder, Dave, if you want. Me 2 secs. To be fair, it's probably a bit far away. There you go. I've thrown it up a bit. Is that too much or is that okay? Happy days. So I've missed plenty of stuff. You should be doing an engine test into the wind. We are going to stop short of this taxiway. Okay, and we're just going to have a quick look. I used to love that when I was gliding, and we used to give the checks for all clear above and behind. Release the parking brake. I have bound some of the keys to my HOTAS, but it's not the easiest of things to do. And there's about 60,000 different functions of the different aircraft. And I haven't got any proper pedals, so you can't see foot brakes or anything like that. Okay. By this point you've definitely already done this, but I haven't, because why would you? Canopy closed, we're rolling down the runway, let's go. Oh yeah, probably should set some flaps, let's just have a quick gander. Yeah, flaps are good. Rotation in the aircraft is about there. Trim's probably slightly high on that, which is why it's brought itself off, but let's maintain a bit of back pressure. I think I've taken off on the wrong runway. This is not the runway I wanted. Oh no, it is. It is. We're fine. Yes, Dave, I'm still on the same number, unfortunately. I did block you a while ago, though. No, I didn't. Or did I? Okie doke, so flaps can come off now. Flaps are transitioned off because they cause extra drag, but they give us extra lift during takeoff. So we're doing a climbing turn. Let's come off here. Beautiful. See if we can get the aircraft trim. Oh, that's not far. There we go. So the aircraft is now trimmed. We're still just about climbing, which is what we want. Just look at that though. Oh yeah, there's a prison somewhere over here. Can't remember where, but I remember flying over it. Because every time we did, the pilot would always make the joke of dropping us off there. Okay, we're going to come across now. Start the base leg. Just about 1,300 feet now. That looks like a good angle there. Just check position to the airfield. Probably need to come around a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to complete this circuit now. So a circuit is where you take off, you go around in a loop, and then you land again. But we're not going to actually land, we'll do a touch and go. So the wheels will touch down, we'll fire up, and then we'll go off and do some aerobatics. Because I'm pretty awful at aerobatics, so it should make a good video. There we go. Let's have a quick gander. Oh yeah, running nice and parallel with the field there. Although it looks like we've got a bit of left wing drop there. There we go, level her out. You've got some great things on here as well. You've actually got Blackpool Tower. I know obviously I've only like gone around in the vicinity of Woodvale. I've done a bit of RAF Valley as well. Especially because we've been flying with the Hawk as well. Well, with the... I can't remember what the company is, but it's a Boeing T-45 Ghost Hawk, which is technically the same as the Hawk T2 that we use. Let's have a quick gander. We should be coming past the airfield now. Oh yeah, it's not bad at all. Not bad at all. So tempting to pull that open. So I love that they've got this, which is obviously the current Air Cadet aircraft. But I'd love to see a chipmunk in there again and a bulldog. Especially as the AvGeeks UK symbol is a bulldog that I drew. Just because I do like the training aircraft. Look at the detail. In fact, let's go backwards. There you go. That's the level of detail that they've gone to. Ooh. Sure there's a bar there though. Anyway, I need to... that was something I meant to say as well. It's a bit odd flying from this side of the aircraft because I've only ever flown from the left. Okie doke. Airspeed's relatively high, so we'll back the power off now. Throw out flaps. Looking good. Nice nose down attitude. However, airspeed is coming up. And continue the roll round to the left now. Nice and lazy roll. Oh, there you go. Airfield starting to come up on us. Throw out another bit of flap. Still giving us nose down. Break off some more power now. You alright, Lou? Do you remember flying in this? Then again, no, because you're old. Sorry. I didn't think that you were in this. I thought that you went in the Bulldog, and I'm letting myself drift. Sorry, Lou. Right. Airspeed's definitely too high now. There we go, it's starting to bleed off. Approach is looking good though. Quite well on for the centre line. I am actually quite jealous that you flew in the Bulldog and the Chipmunk. The Chipmunk went out of service at 96. Oh, that was awful. That was bouncy. That was rubbish. Right, power on, let's go. That's the one thing with the rudder on this. It is really, really sensitive, but apparently that's a game issue and not specific to the aircraft. Yeah, the Chipmunk actually went out of service at 96 at Woodvale. Woodvale were the last ones to get the Bulldogs, I think. And then the Bulldog went out of service in 99, and I think it was 2000, 2001-ish that they got the Tutors there, I think. But yeah, I've only ever flown the Tutor as a cadet. Yeah, so if you flew 96 to 99, makes sense timeline wise for the Bulldog and the Chippy. I am going to go and fly in one. There's, well, both of them. A friend of mine owns a Chipmunk. However, they do both fly in RAF training colours out of Blackpool, and they're only, I think it's like 130 quid-ish for the flight. So I'm definitely going to do that next year. Maybe the year after I might be able to do one a year. I do want to try and get some posh flight sims that I've gone to this year. I don't know why my airspeed's so low. I've still got a bit of flap on. Yes, I have. There we go. Airspeed will come to us now. So, just off the nose, I don't know whether you can see it or not, and it doesn't help when the nose rises, as I've said that. Here's the aircraft carrier. So, we're going to try and land on it, technically the wrong way, but that's just because I'm lazy and don't want to go around the back of it. I've got that jump video from the Chipmunk on my YouTube channel. It's got like 15,000 views. I've got the one for the Grob Tutor as well. Not been able to find the Bulldog one anywhere. That Chipmunk video, I think, dates back to 67, and they didn't update it until they took it out of service. If you want me to make you feel really old though, Lou, my dad, who's turned 80 this year, also flew in the Chipmunk in the cadets. Just saying. Well, for his birthday this year, I was trying to get him in my mate's one, but unfortunately, he had to have a hip operation. He had a hip replacement. So we had it all booked in for the weekend of his 80th birthday, but unfortunately, due to weather, we had to get it called off, and then the hip operation came. So IGT, what's IGT? Initial glider training. Yeah, I got it right. By the time I did it, we changed the syllabus and it was called the GIC, the Gliding Induction Course. And you had GIC 1 to 3, which were completed over different weekends. And then, I mean... oh, if it was powered, then it's the Vigilant, which is no longer in service. Some screw up with paperwork and stuff, and... yeah, apparently they weren't safe to fly, or they could have been, but yeah, they had to spend a lot of money on it, so they sold it off to a disability charity, which I can't remember what it is. I think it's called Aerobatics, and they sold off a few for parts, and they rebuilt some of the good ones. I'd love to get a hold of one for a museum though. But yeah, you've got the powered Vigilant. I did the Viking. I don't remember ever doing that. To be fair, you can do that in the Viking as well, which was the unpowered glider, the proper glider. And 2005, I did my gliding scholarship out of RAF Sealand. Absolutely amazing. Loved every minute of it. Made some great friends there. And yeah, I managed to go solo eventually. I wanted to stay on and do AGT, which was the advanced glider training, to get your gold wings and then become a staff cadet and all sorts. But unfortunately, the MOD decided to sell Sealand, and they closed it up, and then they converted everyone onto Vigilance and sent them out of RAF Woodvale until they had to close for it. Right, so I decided we are going to go around the back of the aircraft carrier to try and do it the right way. I had to go at it doing it the wrong way before, but I crashed. I went off the end. Came in too fast. Didn't bounce so much, but oh, there it is. Actually, where are we? Where is it? It's here somewhere. Where is it? On the side note, what's my airspeed doing? Whoa! Yeah, I thought I could feel buffeting. I'm trying to find Anfield. I don't know if that's it. Yeah, we're doing a stall turn. That's fine. Alright, maybe it's not fine. Come on. Whoops. See you soon, Luke. That was great recovery there. You're not really supposed to practice stalling like that below 10,000 feet according to the RAF, but yeah, we managed to recover, it's fine. That to me looks like Sefton. So is Anfield over there? No, there it is. I don't know how I've missed that. We'll have a quick loop round Anfield. Because, well, I'm a Liverpool fan. Definitely need to invert this stick that I can use to turn my head around. Either that or I just need to buy some VR. Don't really think I can afford or justify that at the minute, but hey ho. There you go, look at that. I've been at the top of that stand. Nearly gave us a nosebleed. Millsy went white when he went up there. We were literally on the top row. But I do love standing in the cop. Say standing because we never sat in the cop. Alright, let's roll out. We've got plenty of excess airspeed there. Where's the carrier? I think that's it there. Yeah. Like I say, that's counterintuitive. Right, let's get back on stage. There we go. There's the tip of the carrier. I'm not good with ships, but I think that's like a frigate to defend it next to it. Okay, we've definitely got too much airspeed this time, so let's knock that off. Give us one flap. This thing goes to 33 degrees. The base leg's going to kind of merge into final as well. Just giving the airspeed. No, I'm sending the flaps the wrong way there. There you go. Airspeed's plummeting. That's what we want. Okay, let's roll out. Now I could land on it as you're supposed to with an F-18 or F-30. Well, they don't really do that with the F-35. With the F-18, because that's what the majority of carrier-launched aircraft are nowadays. Well, that appear on stuff like this, they are. Throw another load of flap on. Airspeed coming down. We'll throw some parking brake on just because we're going to have to get it stopped quite quickly. We've got a good angle. Bit of adjustment there. It's not looking bad. Okay, and cut power. Bounced. That's not good. Yeah! Managed to do it. Well impressed. I mean, I did break it, but aircraft that land on the carriers have got to have strong undercarriage. I hadn't noticed that before. So you've got the new American UAV attack missile predator thingamajig. That's quite cool. I can't even say what I know what it is. That's a, well, I want to say it's a P3 Orion, but it doesn't look like the nose for it. It's the Hawkeye, I think, but I don't know what the designation is for it. No idea what that is. I'll have to have a gander. Right. Let's cheat, he says. Okay. Turning circle's probably not the best on it, but there we go. I'd be tempted to put the power up, but I'm just not. Yeah, I still don't know what that is. Baffles me. I think that's a Hawkeye. Could be wrong. Does seem a bit odd though to have on the same deck as them a Merlin and F-35s. Is that a Seahawk? I would assume so, considering we're at sea. No, no. Trying to feather it too much. Okay. So, quick takeoff checks. Flaps to take off. Trim to take off. We're not going to go off on the short ramp where they normally have the steam catapult because it's just not going to happen, I'm telling you now. So we'll do the whole length of the deck and see if we can get him. And do you know what? I'm going to throw a bit of extra flap on. Engine RPM to max. See what we can do. Remember, we need about 60 knots. However, that was... Oh my... One set of flaps off, come on. There we go. So can you land and take off a Grob Tutor from an aircraft carrier? Yes, you can. I've just got to admire the beauty of this. Although, has it got hazel checks in here? I don't know if that'll be legible or not there. Let's get us a bit more airspeed on. Get a bit height on. There we go. Okay. We're rolling a bit. Let's take the roll off. Airspeed's not looking the best there. Let's drop the trim down. There we go. Okay. Weight limitations. Ah, there we go. For basic aerobatic manoeuvres. I need to get a copy of them. Still don't think it's going to have hazel checks though. No, we're not going that way to Wales. We're going to see the Blackpool Tower. / do some aerobatics. definitely need to have a look at what aerobatics and what entry speeds you should be doing. Why can't you just say street and level? Tell you what, I wonder if my little free app has got hazel checks. Hey, it's totally gone and got. Hey, let's roll back out. It's got hazel checks. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Right. Let's roll a bit more level. So, for anyone that's not seen my little video of me in the Hawk, I didn't do hazel checks after being really cocky with doing some low flying through the Welsh valleys. And yeah, I departed out of RAF Valley. It's about 300 foot, doing really nice low turns. It looked cool as anything. And then I accidentally rolled a bit too far, pulled a bit too much back, and then yeah, it crashed into the ground. It's one of them. You live and you learn. I mean, I wouldn't have lived through that crash, but you live and you learn. That's why we have simulators. Right. So, altitude now is that we're just passing 3,000 feet? Yeah. Really, I want to be at least 5. See, I could be like really lazy and just slew it, but I can't do that. I can do that, I did it the other day, but at the runway. Hey, there's our little runway. I don't know if you can see my mouse or not. I don't know whether I've got mouse viewable. I don't think I have, looking at my stream. Okie doke. So, it's about 2 fingers in front of the right wing. There you go, we're approaching it now. You shouldn't be able to miss that. Okay. Right, we're going to go and climb a bit quicker. Try not to bleed off too much speed. And we'll go out over the water so it's slightly safer. When we were in cadets, we used to have to put the May West on because I think the majority of the aerobatics that we did was out over the sea. Oh, looking good. Altitude's there, what, 4,500? So you've got the hazel checks then. So what they are is you're supposed to check these. The hazel's the acronym for it. You're supposed to check this before you do any sort of stalling or aerobatics. So we'll start off with the H, which is height, and it should be calculated sufficient to recover by. So as you saw me stall before at probably 2,000, 3,000 feet, and I just about recovered. That's not acceptable. I think the majority of RAF's proper stalling is done at 10,000 feet plus. Flaps as required. Don't think you'd want to stall with flaps like, but canopy locked and closed. I hope so by now. Harnesses are tight and secure with no loose articles. Pockets fastened. There you go. Loose article. You think I've done this before? RPM is high. It's about as high as we're going to get. Mixture BPM. Cold fuel gauges. T's and P's are normal. That's a bit too much left. Love how the light just changes. Oh. There we go. Headed back towards Blackpool. That's gaining a bit too much. There we go. T's and P's are normal. CO detector normal. Position close to the nearest airfield. Well, we're going to be close-ish to Blackpool, but as it stands, it's not really an active airfield, and we're going to go off by the tower anyway, just because you get to scare people on the tower. And you're going to look out for other aircraft. And even as a cadet, we were told that that's what you've got to do as well. So we were all part of a team of staying safe and making sure that you've done your checks before you could do anything. I can't really check there, but okay. I think we're fairly safe. What are we now? 6,000 feet. Okay, let's go and do some aerobatics. And what have we got on the list? For an aileron roll or a barrel roll or a wing over, I don't know what the chandelle is, you've got to go in about 130 knots. So airspeed is too low at the minute, so let's nose down. Ah, I found my propeller. Haha! Right, that makes life easier. Okay, trim set to neutral. We're going to push forward. Airspeed coming up now, 130 knots, 140 knots, so we're going to let the nose climb, and we're going to roll. Beautiful. Let's do a bit of a quick turn there. I think I need my sunglasses on. There we go. We are right in the right direction again. Okay. What shall we do now? Airspeed's probably a bit excessive for this, but let's go looping. So constantly applying back pressure. Oh, and the wind caught us there. However, we recovered. That was naff, the wind caught us. However, front 1,000 feet, airspeed at 140 knots. Let's go again. Back pressure, back pressure, back pressure. All the way. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Oh, it wants to turn, it wants to turn. Don't turn, don't turn. doesn't want to pull up. I can tell you, it's gonna. I can feel it. Get lost. There we go. And now you can see why Hazel is important, because I went from 4,500 feet to 2,000 feet. Let's scrub some of this airspeed off though. I didn't slew to magic. So 12,000 feet. Let's see if we can go into a flat spin. Okay. So come off the power. Pull the RPM off. Keep the aircraft trimmed. Gonna throw some flaps on because I can't remember whether that destabilizes it even more so. Give it some back pressure. Airspeed's coming down now. And we're in the stall. Hold it there. You can feel it buffeting. And there we go. Okay. Nose down, recovery speed, and we're all good. But we went from what, 10,000, 12,000, and we're on 9,900. So that was a bit, yeah. We do it again. Kick the flaps off. One's to turn in. I'm turning the opposite way at this point. "8,000 foot was still good. Let's see if we can do a hammerhead turn. Oh, go on. No, that's not a hammerhead. That's not a hammerhead at all. And the bad thing about doing this out over the sea is you can't tell what way's up and down. Still recovered. It's all good. So it's all good. Let's give a hammerhead one more go. Now, I need to go back and do some learning about stalling. It doesn't want to come back. Doesn't want to come back. Airspeed's up, airspeed's up. There we go. It's all good. Right. Let's go and land and then call it a night. This one's going to be a bit more of a harsh landing than the last one. See if we can throw it around like a jet. In fact, we won't call it night. I'm going to change the aircraft though. Because I'm going low flying through London again. Let's throw some flaps on. Airspeed's a bit excessive there. Yeah, I'm going low flying through London. I did it last night just to see if I could. But I flew through the Tower Bridge in a Hawk, and it just took me back to the pictures of the Hunter, Hawk or Hunter that did it. Of course, he never did it though. But it was amazing. Okay, so we're going in with full power, which is probably not too clever. Flaps are on. Definitely not as well down the centre line as last time. Get a bit of height, get over these trees. Kick some rudder on. Yeah, there we go. Come on. That was a pretty poor landing, really. Yeah. It does like the Tokyo drift in it. That's how responsive the rudder controls are, though. They're a bit over the top, if you ask me. Definitely didn't miss that taxiway. Definitely didn't. Alright, my slight bugbear of Woodvale is I've never in my life seen the aircraft face that way. Alright, so it's not perfect, but that's not bad. Okie doke. Let's pull everything back. Leave mixture up if it'll take it. Beautiful. Apparently I did 3 daylight landings but didn't take off once. Fair enough. There we go. So one last quick look around the aircraft, because it is such a lovely looking aircraft. I'd love a 1:72 scale model of this. I've got one of the Chippy, I've got one of the Bulldog, but I haven't got one of this. Because they don't do them. It's ridiculous. Not even Airfix do a kit for it, which is even worse. Okie doke. So we're going to transition over like that. Okay, I'm going to load the aircraft up. We're probably going to fly out of Valley just because. But I'll be back in a couple of minutes. So see you in a minute. I'll try and remember to unmute myself when I come back this time.
Departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 35.
Cleared for takeoff runway 35 Lantern 52.
Right, so I did load it in. I did do it right, but I didn't do it right because I didn't change the aircraft. So, let's give this another go. So we're now in the Boeing T-45C Ghost Hawk. Right, so my only problem here is I don't know. I'm at Llandbedr Airfield, which is the gateway to the Mach loop. I just don't know which way. I think I'm at the wrong end of the runway. Flaps at takeoff. Let's get rocking and rolling. In fact, I do quite like doing this. Gear up. Flaps up. That's a bit too high. Okay. And again, this is such a beautiful aircraft, and then the livery as well. It's a custom livery that I downloaded, and I honestly can't remember where from, but for when this video goes onto YouTube, I'll have it there ready. I don't acknowledge any of your transmissions. It's definitely a weird feeling being behind. You have to have the trim quite well forward for this, otherwise the aircraft just wants to rise with the power. Bit of back pressure now. I don't know if they've got the replays sorted in this, whether you can do replays. Flight Select was great for that. There we go. Let's get some roll there. into this one. Probably we're trying to find where Cad East and Cad West are. Goodbye ATC services. I'm not going to get out of that boat. I'm not. It's fine with the boat. Okay. Oh yeah, that looks a nice bit to go through. Bring those round, that's what we want. Oh yeah, I did say I was going to London, didn't I? You can't help but admire the way that this looks in every... Oh, it's just amazing. Do you reckon we can do it inverted? Pull up. That's not up, that's down. Have we got enough airspeed? No, we've not. Recover, recover. That didn't happen. Damn. In fact, you know what? Let's cheat. I don't know if the airframe looks dirty there. That's quite cool. Really? Really? I've got no airspeed, I've got no airspeed. This is not going to work. There we go. Right, so definitely didn't cheat. Definitely didn't. Okay, trimmed reset to neutral. Oh, that looks nice. Shall we just go to London? If we can do a loop. In fact, no, let's just see what altitude we can get to. Nose forward. Oh, I think we've lost too much airspeed, it's pulled off too much. It's unresponsive, and we've stalled. Oh, bollocks. It's all good, it's all good, it's all good. Nose down, recovery attitude. Airspeed's coming back, 240 knots. It's all good. And we only lost 3,000 feet, so that's not too bad. Right, let's see if we can get this in a flat spin then. Power off. We've exceeded the 10,000 feet. Which I suppose I've never really thought about it before, but that's why in Top Gun they have the hard deck of 10,000 feet. Okay, full back pressure. Wow. And there we have it, a flat spin. Which again goes back to Top Gun and how Goose died. However, I didn't really do much to recover the aircraft then. In fact, I'll tell you the truth, I didn't have my hand on the stick. Although, I've got the trim set to up. I think if you actually try and fight it, it becomes worse. So, full power. Angle attack's well too high. Got some good altitude going on. Airspeed's coming off. Maintain back pressure. Maintain back pressure all the way back. Wings drop it. Let's try and not let the wing drop. Feel it wanting to. So it didn't want to, so I've induced the spin. Wow! I don't even know what the G meter is doing. I don't think this is recoverable. I'm trying. Through flaps onto maximum. I don't know whether technically at that point it would just snap them off. I have to go and watch that show again. BBC's Test Pilot from, I think it was 1986. Great series. It's coming to the AvGeeks YouTube channel sometime soon. I think it's next week. Right, let's go to London and we can call it a night. Oh, that's not a nice spin. That's a tried going ridiculously fast in this as well, it doesn't really work. You do kind of max out around the 560 knots. In fact, let's reduce my airspeed down there as well. I think that's well above the operating ceiling of the aircraft. Oh, it doesn't want to handle at all. But there's no thing that's well above the operating altitude of this aircraft. Nose down attitude selected. 45,000 feet. 440 knots. 40,000 feet. 500 knots. 35,000 feet. 560, 620. We're about to do it. Look at the buffeting. As says it's just on the ability of going Mach 1. Go on, throw it down. Come on. Won't do it. It just won't. At that point, yeah, I'm going to have to pull up. Go on, you can do it. Go on. Woo. I wonder if this aircraft is actually capable of Mach 1. It's not something I know. Let's find out. Right. End. And let's go down to London. I think that does look quite cool, like. But, right. Yeah, there's another aircraft carrier there. I don't know what those random ones are. So, you've got an airfield here, London City Airport. Do you know, I might get away with being able to do this at night because London's so well lit. I mean, look at that. So you come off the runway and then Tower Bridge is there. That might look quite cool of a night. Yeah, let's go for it. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? Well, the worst that can happen actually is... yeah, well, I did it twice yesterday. So it was third time lucky for actually managing to fly through the bridge. The other two times, I missed it completely. I went through, as in it was on course for going through. But I seemed to hit invisible walls. And it wasn't the tail, it wasn't anything underneath. It just kind of just impacted, and at one point I ended up landing on the bridge. It deployed me undercarriage and I was like, oh, right, well there we are then. But I've got a good feeling that we're going to crash anyway. Come on, whenever you're ready.
City Tower X-ray 280 ready at runway 27 departing straight out.
Come on. Apparently I'm in a queue if another one's just flown through. Yeah, so he's taking too long. Flaps are set correctly. As much as I love the internal view, we're going to stick with external just so we can actually see flying through the bridge, because I think, like I say, night time, that'll look quite cool. Rotation in this is about 125 knots. I have to do it late there, but undercarriage going up. I don't want to gain much height. There's Millennium Dome. I went there with school in 2000. I suppose it's not the Millennium Dome anymore, is it? It's the O2 Arena. Okay, so following the river round, I can't see this. I think the river must bend back. There it is. Tally ho. Okay. Nose down. Airspeed to 4. There we go. We should make it. Hey, there we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. I wondered why I was gaining altitude even with the trim all the way forward. I still have flaps on. But yeah, there you go. So you can fly through the bridge. Although, yeah, someone needs to make a Hawker Hunter for this. What master warning's coming on there? Let's go back. Let's have a gander at what else is down here. Oh, the London Eye. There we go. Where is it? There we go. I'm really not great with London landmarks. Is that the shard or is it just a spiky building? I don't know. Do you reckon we can maintain down the Thames? Not like that we can't. Not like that we can't. Go on, airspeed's there. Go on. Nope. No. Ah. Yeah. Shut the engine down. Well, I achieved what I wanted to achieve. I managed to fly through the Tower Bridge. Didn't get much further than that afterwards, but hey ho, you live and you learn. So, on that, well, I'd say bombshell, but on that small incident, we're going to call it a night. So, take it easy, and I'll catch you next time.